Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers lawful orders, traffic stops, and ghost tags, and is brought to us by 11 Alive's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On August 25th, 2022, two unidentified police officers from the Molina Police Department in Molina, Georgia, pulled over Chief Jonathan Hemphill of the nearby Zebulon Police Department. The interaction between the three officers was captured by the body-worn camera of one of the Molina officers.
What are you doing? Here, you go out.
Say hello. Was that illegal?
No, no, sir. The reason why we're stopping you is because it's a window tint violation.
I blinked my blue lights at you to let you know who I was.
Yes, sir. Well, we didn't know with it. That's not a government tag.
That is a unofficial tag. Okay. That tag's not even on file.
I see. Yeah. Well, we have to catch up the bill to run it and everything like that, sir. So
I won't blink my blue lights at you next time. I'll let you just sit there. I was just speaking. I'm the police chief in Zebulon.
Well, nice to meet you, sir.
Matt Pope worked for me. Your chief worked for me.
Yes, sir. There's no need to get upset.
I'm upset because I spoke to you when I come by, and now you're pulling me over.
After the Molina officers pulled him over, Chief Hemphill got out of his vehicle and approached them before they had even exited their cruiser. Although the universal advice given by law enforcement agencies and civil rights advocates alike is for drivers and passengers to remain in the vehicle unless the officer asks them to exit the vehicle, it is typically not illegal for individuals to exit their vehicles during a traffic stop. However, drivers can be convicted of disobeying a lawful order or a similar offense, such as resisting or obstructing an officer if an officer orders them to remain in the vehicle and they refuse. As we have discussed before on ATA, the Supreme Court held in the 1977 case of Pennsylvania versus Mims that officers may order a driver to exit a vehicle during a routine traffic stop. And in the 1997 case of Maryland versus Wilson, the court determined that the same was true for passengers. In reaching this decision, the court reasoned that, quote, "The touchstone of our analysis under the Fourth Amendment is always the reasonableness in all the circumstances of the particular governmental invasion of a citizen's personal security. And that reasonableness depends on a balance between the public interest and the individual's right to personal security, free from arbitrary interference by law officers." Applying this test, the court ultimately concluded that the so-called weighty interest in officer safety outweighed the so-called de minimis intrusion of requiring an individual in a lawfully stopped vehicle to step outside for the duration of the traffic stop. Although the Supreme Court has not determined whether an officer may order an individual to remain in a vehicle during a traffic stop, courts have consistently relied on the arguments in the Mims and Wilson cases to conclude that such directives are constitutional. For instance, in the 1997 case of Carter versus State, the Court of Appeals of Georgia applied the logic used in the then recently decided Wilson case to hold that, quote, "Officer safety is sufficient justification to allow an officer to order a passenger to remain in a validly stopped vehicle." Likewise, in the 2005 case of United States versus Williams, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals decided that because, quote, "Giving officers the authority to control all movement in a traffic encounter is sensibly consistent with the public interest in protecting their safety, under the Fourth Amendment, it is reasonable for an officer to order a passenger back into an automobile that he voluntarily exited, because the concerns for officer safety, and specifically the need for officers to exercise control over individuals encountered during a traffic stop, outweigh the marginal intrusion on the passenger's liberty interest." Here, while Chief Hemphill did not violate the law by exiting his vehicle, a court would very likely hold that the Molina officers would have been within their constitutional authority to order him to return to it and remain inside.
I never met you a day in my life.
I understand that.
Why are you being hostile?
Easy. I don't have to talk to you.
Okay.
Easy. I'm not talking to you.
Why are you being hostile right now?
Are y'all gonna write me a ticket? Are you gonna write me a ticket?
Sir, we're just trying.
I'm the police chief in Zebulon. Do you wanna write me a ticket?
Why are you coming up to me like that? I'm doing my job, right?
What are you stopping for?
I'm stopping you for one. The window tints dark. You
I have blue lights in my car.
Okay, you know how many officers have blue lights in
Are
their
you
vehicle?
writing me a ticket? Yes or no?
I'm conducting my investigation.
Are you writing me a ticket? I'm fixing to leave.
Do you have your driver's license?
Sure, I have my driver's license.
I
Literally.
don't know why you're what it is.
I have my driver's license. I'm fixing to make it a whole lot more.
You're the chief, you're not being very professional.
Your boss worked.
11-11. I'm out here with Illinois.
Stand off to me just like anybody else. Pull it over, okay? Thank you.
Where's my license?
Okay, so Scotland 1 Doctor in
The Molina officers explained they pulled Chief Hemphill over for having dark window tint and flashing his blue lights. According to Section 40-8-73.1 of the Georgia Code, quote, "It shall be unlawful for any person to operate a motor vehicle in this state which has material and glazing applied or affixed to the front windshield, which material and glazing, when so applied or affixed, reduce light transmission through the windshield, or which has material and glazing applied or affixed to the rear windshield or the side or door windows, which material and glazing, when so applied or affixed, reduce light transmission through the windshield or window to less than 32%, plus or minus 3%, or increase light reflectance to more than 20%. Although the statute clarifies that, quote, "The provisions of this section shall not apply to any law enforcement vehicle, because Chief Hemphill's vehicle was equipped with an unregistered so-called ghost tag," as we will discuss in further detail later in this episode, a court would likely conclude that the Molina officers had the reasonable suspicion necessary to conduct the traffic stop based solely on the tint, as his license plates did not indicate that he was a law enforcement officer. And in the 2013 case of Walker versus State, the Court of Appeals of Georgia held that an officer could stop a vehicle for a suspected window tint violation without infringing upon the Fourth Amendment. Likewise, Section 40-8-90 of the Georgia Code states that, quote, "It shall be unlawful for any person to operate any motor vehicle equipped with or containing a device capable of producing any blue lights, whether flashing, blinking, revolving, or stationary, except motor vehicles owned or leased by any federal, state, or local law enforcement agency, motor vehicles with a permit granted by a state agency to bear such lights, or antique, hobby, and special interest vehicles." Assuming that the vehicle Chief Hemphill was driving was owned by the Zebulon Police Department, it is highly likely that the blue lights did not violate state law. However, because the Molina officers had no way of knowing that the vehicle was owned or leased by a local law enforcement agency, and thereby excepted from the prohibition on blue lights, it is also probable that they had sufficient grounds to conduct the traffic stop.
A machine construction company out of Losersville, registration shown expired, valid insurance, negative 99.
Yeah, sir, as I was explaining.
I don't want to hear anything from you.
Okay.
You let her do her job.
It doesn't come back to that vehicle.
That's 28 returns, no vehicle found, negative 99.
Okay.
11-8, below 11, make sure you're recording.
Yeah. What?
She's about bringing your driver's license
All
back
right.
up.
That's fine.
Yeah. First when we ran the tag, it came back to like a Dodge Ram, so we're just
It's not a
confirming
Dodge
it's not.
Ram.
Yes, sir. We're
It's
just,
a ghost tag.
yes, sir. We're
You
making
must
sure.
have anything back with that tag.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're just.
You must have run it wrong. You must have run it wrong because you want to come back to a Dodge Ram.
We were confirmed it. They let us know and everything.
So it's still coming back to a Dodge Ram now?
Sir, can I ask why you're so upset?
Is it still coming back to a Dodge Ram
No,
now?
we got it fixed. Why are you so upset?
No, you didn't fix it. Is it still coming back to a Dodge Ram right now?
No, it came back 9 on 5.
That's right, because
Okay.
you run it wrong.
Sir,
Somebody run it wrong.
about
Either
to-
you did or they did.
We're about to get the information.
Okay,
and get
I
it
got
back
your
to you.
chief on the phone right now. That's
Yes, sir.
fine.
I
That's fine.
understand.
That's fine.
Can you calm down for us,
No.
please?
I appreciate your service. I appreciate your service.
All right.
I'm just saying, I spoke to you guys. I didn't have to do that. I could have eased on by y'all. I appreciate the job y'all out here doing.
Chief,
I
I'm trying to be
spoke y'all.
respectful with you.
I understand
okay?
that. I understand that.
I'm not raising my voice or
I
nothing at
understand
you,
that.
right?
I understand
All
that.
right, let's.
But
man
I'm
to
trying
man,
to
let's
tell
be
you,
respectful to one
the
another,
only
okay?
thing I done wrong was spoke. Y'all never would have pulled me over if I hadn't flicked my blue lights at
No,
you.
sir. No, we were going to pull you up. Actually, I'm
No,
not
you
going to
wouldn't.
lie to you. I'm
No,
telling
you
you straight up, okay?
Okay. All right.
But like I said, there's
Go-
people out here impersonating police officers with blue lights.
Or you
and
threw
we've
my
dealt
or
with
she
before.
threw my license if she is getting them for me.
She'll bring it to you, sir.
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm just
Bring it
trying
till
to.
you get through.
I'm trying to talk with you.
I don't want to talk anymore about it.
All righty.
The Molina officer explains that after originally running the plates incorrectly, when dispatch ran the plates on the vehicle, it came back as not on file, and Chief Hemphill claims that it's because the vehicle is equipped with an unofficial ghost tag, which means it is not registered. Under Section 40-2-20 of the Georgia Code, quote, "Every owner of a motor vehicle shall, during the owner's registration period in each year, register such vehicle as provided in this chapter and obtain a license to operate it for the 12-month period until such person's next registration period." Nonetheless, this requirement does not apply to, quote, any motor vehicle owned by the state or any municipality or other political subdivision of this state and used exclusively for governmental functions, except to the extent provided by Code Section 40-2-37, which states that, quote, all vehicles owned by the state of Georgia or any municipality or other political subdivision of this state and used exclusively for governmental functions, except those employed in secret investigatory police functions to which regular Georgia license plates are issued, shall be registered with the commissioner by the fiscal officers or other proper officials of the respective departments to which such vehicles belong prior to operation and use thereof. Once a police vehicle is registered, quote, the license plates issued shall be identical in appearance to regular license plates issued for private vehicles, except that such license plates shall not display any registration expiration. However, the statute also requires that, quote, license plates issued to government vehicles shall be marked in such a manner as to indicate the specific type of governmental unit operating the vehicle. These markings shall be prominently displayed. In addition, each such license plate shall bear a county identification strip indicating the county in which the vehicle is based, except that vehicles owned by the state shall not be required to bear such county identification strip. The statute does allow for an exception to this rule, stating that, quote, the commissioner shall be authorized to grant a waiver of the requirements of this subsection such that regular Georgia license plates may be issued for any vehicle or vehicles owned by the state of Georgia, any municipality of this state, or any other political subdivision of this state upon finding issuance of such waiver to be in the best interest of public safety, public welfare, or efficient administration. It is unclear whether Chief Hemphill has obtained such a waiver for the vehicle he was driving. But even if he has, it is important to note that this exception only applies to subsection C of the statute, which is the requirement that the license plate be marked to indicate the government unit operating the vehicle, and does not apply to the requirement that government vehicles be registered. The only potentially applicable exception to the registration requirement that would allow Chief Hemphill to use unregistered ghost plates is for government vehicles that are engaged in so-called secret investigatory police functions, which are typically outside the scope of a police chief's duties.
Yeah, it's very unprofessional.
Unbelievable. Have a better night.
After running Chief Hemphill's driver's license, the Molina officers returned it to him and allowed him to leave without issuing any citations. However, 5 days after the incident, Chief Hemphill broke a digital radio agreement that permitted Molina to use Zebulon's emergency radio channel by blocking Molina from using the frequency, according to Molina Chief Matt Polk. The Molina Police Department is now using the Pike County Sheriff's Office channel for emergency communications. On October 11th, 2022, the city of Zebulon announced that it was launching an independent third-party investigation into Chief Hemphill's conduct. As of the date of writing this episode, the city has not provided any updates regarding the results of this investigation. But Chief Hemphill is still listed as the police chief on the city of Zebulon's website. Overall, the Molina officers get an A for demonstrating professional and respectful demeanors throughout the encounter, despite receiving a significant amount of disrespect from Chief Hemphill, refusing to give Chief Hemphill any special treatment based on his status, and making a lawful traffic stop based on the information available to them at the time of the stop. While the vehicle's window tint and blue lights did not appear to be in violation of the law, a court would likely uphold the stop as reasonable, because the vehicle was equipped with regular license plates. Additionally, although Chief Hemphill's use of ghost tags was potentially an abuse, this possible violation was far beyond the scope of the Molina's officers' duties, and I commend the officers for maintaining their composure in the face of criticism from a senior officer at a neighboring department and conducting an efficient investigation. Chief Hemphill gets a C- for maintaining a hostile and disrespectful demeanor in his interactions with the Molina officers, potentially misusing ghost plates on a non-undercover vehicle, and retaliating against the entire Molina Police Department by revoking their access to Zebulon's emergency radio channel. Throughout the encounter, Chief Hemphill's actions demonstrated that he seems to believe he is, at least in some ways, above the law. And while I cannot say for certain that the vehicle Chief Hemphill was driving did not qualify to be unregistered due to its involvement in so-called secret separate investigatory police functions, it seems highly unlikely that a police chief would be involved in these types of undercover operations. While there are certainly more serious instances of police corruption in the world, properly registering the plates would, at the very least, prevent misunderstandings like this one from occurring in the future. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.